Alrighty, what is up, everyone, and welcome to another The Random Encounter stream. I'm your host, James, and this is podcast episode 28. We've done it. 28 episodes. Feels so good to keep getting that number high. But yeah, as I said, I'm your host, James, and as always, I am joined by Mike.
Yo, what's going on, everybody?
Phaneckswhy.
Yeah.
And Ash.
Hey, what's up, guys?
We've got an awesome show for you to talk about today and some sad news to talk about today, which is very interesting. I feel like it's broken my heart because, you know, E3 ain't going to be the same since the big three is not going to be there, which is crazy, right? Also, there's some Resident Evil 4 news out there. Game Informer has some exclusive content that they come out, so we're going to discuss some Resident Evil 4 stuff, as well as some small news that we'll go over a little bit there, and of course, you're going to hear what games we've been playing. But before we start, I would like to say thanks everybody for who subscribed to us. Unfortunately, we did not hit our goal of 160 subscribers last month, but that being said, we will hit this goals for this month. We're looking to get 175 subscribers on YouTube, and of course, we're trying to keep at least 15 Twitch subscribers each month. All of that will help us, you know, to getting the equipment we need, the better equipment we need, rather. All the games we're going to need, because this year is packed. And, you know, we haven't even got announcements of what's coming in the second half of the year, because literally everything that we know that's coming out is for the first half of the year. So I'm pretty sure the second half is going to be pretty crazy for sure. Especially, I'm really curious to hear what Nintendo has coming out, because they've been pretty quiet, I will say, for the most part. Last year was pretty quiet. This year is also pretty quiet, outside of like Tears of the Kingdom and of course Fire Emblem Engage that came out. So I really want to know what they're working on, if anything. But yeah, like I said, appreciate everybody for doing that. Spread the word for the podcast, and let's get started with Ash. What you been playing since you were absent last week?
Well, the last time I played something was definitely Dead Space. Last chapter I was on was like chapter 3 or 4. Got to say, literally one of the best remakes ever played. Way better than the OG, and I love the OG as well. So,
nice.
For anyone that has not played the first Dead Space and you're on the fence of whether either to play the OG first and then the remake, you don't have to worry about that. Just play the remake and you'll be fine. So,
nice. Yeah, I know Mike's been playing that, and I've been watching him stream it, and man, I really want to get it. I'm definitely gonna get it eventually. I'm just gonna hold off on it for now since Mike, you know, has already streamed it. So I'll wait it in. Probably for a sale or something like that, you know, or
it'll
if
go
I get
on
some
sale soon. More than
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it'll go on sale.
Yeah.
Whatever you have time to pick it up, just pick it up. It's a great game overall. Whether you buy it at full price or on sale, it's great. You won't waste your time with it.
I hear that. I mean, Dead Space is always amazing, man. I really like it. Fan, what you been playing?
As everyone knows, I've been playing The Last of Us Part 1 on the PS5. So, yeah, I'll be watching the next episode. The next episode comes out tonight, so I'll be watching it tomorrow. I'm already a little ahead of the game, or already a little ahead of the show in the game. So, I'm gonna watch the episode tomorrow, see where they end at, and then I'll probably stream that night, a little longer. So, yeah, that's what I've been playing.
Did you see that skit that SNL did with Pedro Pascal from Mario Kart?
Yeah,
That was pretty funny. I thought that was pretty
that's
cool.
hilarious.
Yeah, it's like I was reading the comments on that, and did you guys see it, Ash? Mike, have you guys seen that?
No,
I haven't seen it yet.
You gotta see it.
Pretty funny.
It's hilarious. But I was reading the comment section, and people were like, "Man, this 3-minute trailer has more thought and better storytelling than most video game adaptations," which is hilarious.
Rip. Yeah,
true, too.
that's spot on. That's spot on.
But yeah, it's basically just a Mario Kart story. So like Pedro Pascal, he's Mario, and it's funny because I guess he lands in the world, and they're like, "Who are you?" He goes, "It's me, Mario." And I'm like, I was just laughing at that. But he has like the serious like Joel tone that he's doing. What else does he do? There's some other stuff he goes. He says
He goes,
this.
"Let's go."
Yeah, which sounds better than Chris Pratt right now.
Yeah,
Sounds
exactly. Probably better than Chris Pratt. I bet Nintendo's watching and was like, Brett, man, we made it bad. We made a terrible mistake. We should hire this guy, man. What the heck? Jesus.
Yeah, but that was hilarious. Yeah, definitely highly recommend watching it. It's only like a 3-minute like long like little fake trailer they did, but really awesome. Highly recommend it. But yeah, Mike, what you been playing?
Dead Space. Yeah, Dead Space, and I'm still playing Fire Emblem Engage.
Nice.
Which Dead Space is awesome. I do have some gripes with it, but like it's definitely a good remake.
Are we gonna hear a review from you?
Yeah, for sure. One of my biggest complaints is like the zero gravity gameplay, bro. It's so annoying. Like, you know what I mean? Like when you get to zero gravity part, and Ash hasn't gotten to that part yet.
I have.
That's why he's like, it's good. Not what I'm talking about. Like there's a zero gravity boss that's like super annoying.
Oh.
Interesting. Okay, I'm trying to remember back because of the zero gravity mode where you, in the remake you actually have like control of Isaac when you're floating around.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Okay.
It's not the worst zero gravity gameplay I've ever played, but it's still like the way it's set up is super annoying.
Okay.
It's not responsive. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of like it's hard to dodge attacks. You know.
Oh, yeah. I can see what you mean. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
All right.
Huh, interesting. Yeah,
but more on that later.
You'll be able to hear in his full review when that comes out. As far as me, I've been playing more Fire Emblem Engage, and man, I tell you, the difficulty spiked big time. I think like after I'm not sure how late you are into the game, Mike, but there is a turning point, which all Fire Emblems have like a turning point in the story. Because everything's all happy-go-lucky, like, oh yeah, we're the heroes, and then there's that big turning point where like, oh wow, like we suck.
I'm only on like chapter 6 or 7.
Okay.
But still like
so
earlier.
It's definitely after that, but I'm in a part where it's definitely a lot harder. I part of it makes me wonder like, should I go back to normal mode? But I'm like, nah, I'm gonna keep it on hard mode. But yeah, like it's definitely getting more difficult. But it's fun that way because I'm actually have to use I'm actually using my what is it called, the crystal charges that rewinds time. I'm using that like a lot more.
Oh,
like,
they brought that back.
Yeah, ever since I'm trying to think, what was the first game? Echoes. Ever since Echoes, they've pretty much kept it. Where Echoes was limited, like I think Echoes was very limited in charges, but now you have like 10 charges and that's it. Like you can't upgrade or anything. What were you saying, Mike?
Did 3 houses have that?
Yep.
Yeah, they did.
It was called the Divine Pulse. Yeah.
Yeah, but it was boosted. I was like,
right.
what the heck, man?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, the Divine Pulse was like you had a lot. I don't know if there's a certain amount of charges you can use, but I know this one you only have 10 retries basically. After the 10 retries, it's either you beat it or you restart the whole map all over again, which is nice because it's a little bit of there's a lot of thought. Like you got to think of when to use these, and you got to really pay attention because there's a couple times like I move people. I'm not paying attention. It's like, oh man, I didn't want to move there, and then I screw up stuff. But yeah, like there's a turning point in it where it starts getting very difficult, at least in hard mode, and yeah, kind of sucks. And then it's hard to farm and level up because where I'm at, these story missions are actually easier than the like the little skirmishes that are in the map. So it's like I can't beat like these skirmishes because like these monsters I'm fighting, the corrupted that I'm fighting, are too strong versus where the characters are in the story. So yeah, and Ike is OP for sure. Like once you get Ike, he's like he is in his own game. He's just too OP.
He fights for our friends, bro. What do you mean?
I'll tell you. You weren't here in the last episode, but I believe I said it. But my favorite part is they added those lines in the game. So like when you engage as Ike, as Ike and you beat an enemy, he'll say like I fight for my friends.
Oh,
or like you'll get no sympathy from me. Yeah,
the studying. Oh my god, I love it.
It's hilarious. But I like how they did that. They did the same thing with like, Lucina and all of them. So there's a lot of callbacks to like either their original game or like to Smash and stuff like that, which is pretty cool. I do like that Nintendo did, or Intelligent Systems did that, which is pretty cool for sure. But yeah. So let's go ahead and get started with the small news. First one to talk about is the PS5 beta is now live, that allows for Discord chat capabilities. It's very similar to the way the Xbox version was, where you basically have to go ahead and enable it on your phone. And then basically it'll move over to the PS5. So you do have to start the chat in your phone and move over to PS5. It is only available for beta members of the PS5 like firmware. So like if you're on the actual build or the official build, you can't get that feature yet. But more than likely it'll probably come. I think they said by March, I believe was the time frame they were saying. Yeah. So yeah. What were you saying, Mike?
No, I'm just saying. Yeah, it's soon. Like because betas like this are usually like like a month or two prior.
Yeah.
To, like it dropped.
Yeah. So very very soon. I think you can still sign up for the beta. You might get a code. Like I had the beta from last like big beta that they did, and I didn't even use it because it was really just like for 1440p resolution and stuff like that. But I don't have a monitor just 1440p. But yeah, that's part of it. The other thing that they added to, which is pretty cool, is what I hated the most was with the PS5 controller. If it had an update, you have to plug it in. Like you couldn't do it over the air like Xbox did it. Well, now they changed it, so now you can do over the air updates, wirelessly versus having to plug it in all the time, which is really nice. That's only in the beta right now. In the official build, it'll come later. But yeah, it was always annoying because I have so many controllers, and whenever I swapped, I had to go ahead and plug it in and do the update. And
super annoying, dude.
Exactly.
Wow. Okay.
But now you don't have to worry about that. You can do it wirelessly. A new Mario movie trailer came out, and it did give us a glimpse of how Seth Rogen will sound as Donkey Kong. Did you guys take a look at that at all?
I did see that
clip. I didn't watch the whole thing.
So pretty hilarious. What were you saying?
You can kind of hear the Seth Rogen in the
I was the voice I heard from for Donkey Kong for the movie. That was like that was what I was expecting from Seth Rogen. So I was like, okay, this is expected. It's good though. It's still good.
I was expecting a Seth Rogen voice.
Yeah.
So like
I mean, you can't his voice is so distinct. Like kind of hard to hide.
Exactly. Like
And then Apex Legends Mobile is shutting down. What's up, David? Welcome to the stream, man, or the podcast.
What's up, David?
So Apex Legends Mobile is shutting down, as well as Battlefield Mobile, which I thought was kind of weird because I've heard from a lot of hardcore Apex Legends players that the mobile version was actually really good, and there was a bunch of features that the mobile version had they wish were in the real game. So I don't know how that's working out, or why that's happening, because like I said, Apex Legends Mobile was actually pretty popular. A lot of people liked it. I think it's more that since EA didn't have full control over it because it was made by Tencent, they probably were kind of like, we want to do our own Apex Legends Mobile, or
that's probably what's gonna happen.
Exactly. I was thinking because mobile phones are very powerful now, right? Like any mobile device, if you look at a tablet or a phone, they're powerful enough that I think the real Apex Legends game could play on there, and you can play with other players. So, maybe they're gonna try to do that, which I think would make sense, right? Like Fortnite was on mobile at one point, before everything happened there. But it wouldn't make sense to fit it there. It would be pretty cool to see. I would like to play it on my iPad at 120 hertz because my iPad, Genshin Impact runs at 120 frames per second on iPad. So, I don't see why Apex Legends couldn't. But yeah. Also in EA news, Jedi Survivor has been delayed by 6 weeks from March 17th to April 28th, which is I don't know. I guess it doesn't hit me too hard because in March I was actually more excited for the Resident Evil 4 remake versus Jedi Survivor. But are you guys kind of bummed about that?
No,
not really.
Delays. It's only 6 weeks. You know what I mean? It's not like
next year.
We're it for a year.
It's probably just bugs we're trying to flesh out. That's pretty much it. I'm not really too worried about that.
Yeah, it's just probably quality of life stuff that they're working on.
Making sure it doesn't crash on people.
Was this anybody's most anticipated game for March or no?
No.
Not for me, no. I'm not a big Star Wars fan myself, so I mean, I may pick it up later on, but yeah, I'm not really fully anticipated.
Okay.
I'm not even paying attention to March, to be honest. I'm more like I'm waiting for May.
Right.
No, I'm excited for Resident Evil.
For games anymore.
I'm waiting for Resident Evil 4. I'm very very excited for that. That's
same.
Game.
Yeah. I'm just ready for Zelda. I just want me to get here. So
I want Zelda.
You gotta remember to take off work.
For what, Zelda?
I did, dude. I put it in. I'm sitting on there on wait list. I'm just waiting for it.
On wait list.
Yeah. Because I think that might be like a 24-hour stream. Let's see. Depending on if the cards align correctly.
If I don't get approved for it, I'm still taking off.
Hey, if you do a 24-hour stream, I'll be there because I'll be crazy.
Yeah.
Then I'll have to do a 24-hour stream one of these days.
I'll have to talk to my girl, make sure she doesn't break up with me or something.
That would be tough. Because 12 hours, to me, 12 hours is pretty doable. It's not that bad, but I feel like 24 hours would be hard because at the end of the 12-hour streams is when I start getting really tired. I'm fatigued. Even though Fire Emblem was great because I had a lot more people watching, there was people coming in and out, and it was talking. There was a lot more talk going on. So I'm pretty sure with not Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, there are probably a lot more people that would come in to see that for sure. But yeah, I guess kind of sucks. I'm gonna definitely get it because I loved Jedi Fallen Order and I'm excited for this. But yeah,
I might even wait for a sale. I might not even be a day one because those games go on sale quick, dude. Yeah. I guarantee you within like 2-3 weeks.
Well, yeah, and it's at the end of April too. Well, I mean, I don't know. I'm trying.
I bought it for $20 on Steam.
I bought Fallen Order for $10.
Yeah.
For Steam.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
Oh wow, man! I was the only one that bought it day one. I bought it day one, and I was glad I did. I really enjoyed it.
I actually borrowed it from my friend. Like he just let me hold it.
I'm pretty sure the game was great, but like I guess you were just talking to the wrong people that are not really in Star Wars like that.
Yeah. I love Star Wars.
Oh, I'm into Star Wars, but I have a love-hate relationship with Star Wars. I used to be a super big Star Wars nerd. Yeah. And then Disney bought it.
Yeah, I knew you were going to say that. I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah, Disney ruined Star Wars. I agree with you on that. Like, outside of, like, The Mandalorian and, like, Bad Batch, like, and even Andor.
Even their, like, comics, like, and stuff. Like, they made so much stuff that should have been canon, not canon. Yeah. It's just like, bro, you just ruined so much lore.
Yep. Yeah, and they don't even know. It's not a Star Wars podcast. There's other Star Wars podcasts out there. But yeah. It doesn't faze me neither. So I might get it in April. It depends on what's coming out in April. I gotta re-look and see.
Zelda comes out, I feel like, too soon. So like, I don't think I'll be buying any games like end of April, beginning of March.
When does Zelda come out? You said May, right,
15th.
fam?
May 15th.
Yeah, it comes this. Okay. Yeah, Zelda will come out almost 2 weeks after.
Which is weird.
This. What's weird?
I think the new one's going to be more open world, so that's why I'm like going to wait and see. I just read something online today that you're going to be able to fast travel and ride mounts.
In Jedi Survivor?
Has Nintendo been advertising the game?
New trailer. Yeah. Oh, what? Tears of the Kingdom?
Yeah.
I mean, they've been more quiet, but they were like that with Breath of the Wild too.
Really?
Yeah, because if you remember with Breath of the Wild, like a lot of people think there was a lot of like trailers that came out, but no, like it was basically every E3, not even every E3. I think the Game Awards was like a small glimpse of it, and that was it, and it was quiet. Because you had the announcement trailer, then after that, the Game Awards showed like a little bit of like how the area was gonna look, and that was it. And then the next trailer was the E3 showcase that came out with the release date and everything like that. And then after that, it was really nothing else except for like I think one more trailer, and then that was it. It launched. So I was
check.
Yeah, I was reading
May 12th.
May 12th. Yeah, I was gonna say like May 15th.
Yeah, it's a Monday. I'm like, May 12th is a Friday. The game's always on Fridays.
A Monday.
Yeah. Oh man, that's right. 2 and a 5, they look similar, right? Yeah. But yeah. Anyways, so Last of Us also got delayed. The PC version at least got delayed to March 28th from March 3rd, which is interesting. I mean, Mike, who's our resident expert of PlayStation ports on PC, might tell you that might be some good news.
Probably a good idea. I approve.
So that might be definitely a good idea. Which actually, Fan, you're playing Last of Us on PS5, right?
Yep.
Oh yeah, duh, because it's not available on PC, man. I'm like, wow, that just went over my head. Yeah.
I was gonna wait till PC, but I might play Last of Us on PS5 just to avoid any headache now. Yeah. Because that kind of sketched me out. Because I'm like, the game's ready, so why are you delaying it?
Maybe they're running into the same bug. So
I already saw a bug in the PS5 version.
So I actually read something about ports that was really interesting. Mm-hmm. So it's not the PCs that it's hard to make ports for; it's consoles. Because consoles are so specific. You know what I mean? Like, so they have to work around that. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like because PC you have a lot of play, so a game can run pretty much on anything. You know what I mean? But with consoles, it's such a specific set of hardware that they have to run on.
Your margin of error is like...
Yeah, so it's the consoles that has a hindrance on PC ports. It's not the PC that has a hindrance.
I'm sure what happens too, because if you ever use like the game development engines, there's a toggle there where it tells you you could choose the console that you're trying to develop the game in, and it kind of helps ease the transition to all those things. So if you're optimizing for console, and let's say you're trying to reverse engineer that, you might not be looking at all that stuff. So I'm sure there's probably somewhere along the lines where maybe PlayStation doesn't realize that they're not fixing stuff that is like PC orientated, but or something that the PS5 has that the PC don't in terms of like the way it functions, right? Because even though they're all on the same architecture, the engine will tell the game and like all of its instruction set how to work on the PS5 different from how it would be on PC, because PC has so many other things there. PC is a little bit more complicated in design. So if you go to a console, right, it's a little bit more basic in design. So the engine has to work around that. Because, again, a console is just a console. It doesn't do much more, where PC does a lot of other things. So there's a lot of things running in the background,
right?
As well as the game.
That's why it's easy. But that's why I read that it's easier to make a game for a PC, because it's like it has more freedom, I guess, is the word, like than a console, where a console is more like
Well, I meant like in terms of like reverse engineering, right?
Yeah,
what might be there on console might not be there on PC. So like these people who are trying to port it over, right? They're like, okay, like
what are we doing?
Yeah, exactly. Kind of same way why emulators, right? Why emulators may not run games 100%, but it's because a PC just reads information a little bit different, even though they might have similar architectures.
I still respect the developers that do the emulators and stuff. Huge respect, man. Engineers no easy feat.
And they don't get credit, bro. And the thing is, a lot of times the community kind of
bashes them like
real bad. So a lot of people actually stop doing it. There's a lot of good people that were doing it that don't do it anymore.
Yeah, like the guys that do the Citra 3DS emulator.
Yeah.
Oh man, that was such a good emulator.
Yeah, but they get a lot of flack because it's they haven't developed it to be compatible with Vulkan, and they're just like,
it takes time.
It takes time. We're not going to do it. This is a free emulator.
Yeah.
We're getting too much hate online, so we're not going to do it. And that's pretty much what they said. Like, we're not.
A lot of people don't even get paid for this, bro. They just do it as passion projects, and people aren't even appreciative.
Yeah.
Yeah, the passion projects are the best projects, and I always support
100%. 100% agree. Yeah, and I think most of the thing with Vulkan is because of like Steam Deck, right? Like if you ever tried running Citra on Steam Deck, it doesn't run that great. But it's because the way like shaders compile on Linux versus like Windows and DirectX and stuff like that. So, it is what it is. But there was one more thing I wanted to mention that I forgot to put in the notes. But yeah, Microsoft is removing quite a few games from the 360 marketplace. I'll go down. Actually, I'm not gonna go down the list. There's quite a few games there, but some of the most noticeable ones are like Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, Assassin's Creed 3, Assassin's Creed 4, Liberation HD, Blue Dragon, which that's a freaking. That's a Microsoft exclusive, and it's like, come on, man! Like Blue Dragon is like really the only other place to get it outside of like physical is on Microsoft platforms, and delisting that's kind of dumb. What else is on here? That's kind of noticeable. I mean, Call of Duty, but like that's older games that most people probably don't play. You have Left 4 Dead, Left 4 Dead 2, Jet Set Radio is going away. Lost Odyssey, another Microsoft exclusive. Like, come on, man. Mass Effect 2. What else? Skate 2.
Why are they taking it off?
They're just. There's no reason why. They just said that they're removing it from the Xbox 360 marketplace. Which,
is it available on the Xbox One marketplace?
I assume it won't be.
Yeah. Well, I wonder if it's going to be on Game Pass or something.
Oh no, actually, I'm sorry. It is. Yeah, so it says Gematsu says that they will be available on Xbox One and Series X stores still. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, that's probably why they're taking it.
That's probably why. They're just cleaning up.
Okay, so then that's a little bit not as bad as I thought it would be, but it's like it's still it's kind of a scary thought because the 3DS and Wii U eShop closed next month, and the Wii. Right, eShop had, or the Wii, what was it called? Was it the Wii Store or was it Wii Shop? Yeah, the Wii Shop.
Wii Shop channel.
Yeah, the Wii Shop channel closed down. How long ago? What, 2019?
Good question.
Yeah, so
2018, I believe. Yeah, it was different 2019.
Yeah, so 4 years ago, and it's like it kind of sucks because I assume eventually Microsoft is going to close down the 360 store, and there's a lot of like Xbox arcade games that would just go away. Like, there's that Fable game. Remember that Fable game that's played like a dungeon crawler? What was it called? Fable Legends, I think it was called. Or maybe not. But yeah, like, that game will go away eventually. And it's like, I enjoyed it. I had fun playing it with my brothers and stuff like that. Yeah, it might not be the best dungeon crawler, right? It's not like Diablo or anything like that. But it was still fun to play. And, like, these I don't know, the all digital future is kind of scary because of that.
Well, that's why game preservation is super important. And
Emulation.
like so, yeah. Which is why like I don't get like so if a company doesn't sell a product anymore, and I'm looking at like Nintendo, why is it so? Why can't I play it online if someone has a ROM? You know what I mean? Like you're not losing any money technically. Technically, it's not piracy because you're not giving me an option to buy it. Exactly. Like even if I buy it secondhand from someone for $500, you're still not seeing any of that money. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
Like
100% agree.
It doesn't make any sense, dude.
Long time no see, man. Appreciate you joining the podcast.
So, dude.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. It's funny, Ash, something you said to me years ago has always stuck to me, where it was, if the game is no longer being sold like by official means, then, and the only way to play is through emulation, then it's not really a bad thing because there's no other way to play it, right? Like and it kind of makes sense, right? Like for people who want to get into Fire Emblem and they want to play the games that Ike were in, Path of Radiance or Radiant Dawn.
Oh, don't get me started on that. Oh
it's
my
like,
goodness.
It's $300 to buy one of those games. It's like,
I'm like, bro, what do you want me to do? I'm like, if you want to play freaking Fire Emblem Darcy at 776, you can't.
Well, you remember when? So do you remember when Xenoblade Chronicles on Wii came to the US?
Don't get me started on that.
And they sold brand new for $60, right? And they were limited. And then GameStop were reselling the pre-owned version for like $80 or $90. It was ridiculous. Yeah, but it's stuff like that. It's like emulation kind of saves the day. Like The Last Story is still a game that was available on Wii that I still want to play. It's by Nobuo Uematsu. And you own it?
I own it.
I hate you.
Oh, you own it? Nice.
I own it.
I've always wanted to play that game.
My game collection's pretty extensive, man. Like I have a lot of games.
But yeah, it's one of those games that like if you look for it online, it's crazy expensive. It's even even to find it online like through like emulation and stuff like that, it's hard to find. Because that's how rare the game was over here. But that was one of those games that I've always wanted to play, and it's like, the only way to play it now really and not break the bank is through emulation. What's it? Last time I checked, it was like 100 and something. So it's like around the same price as like Fire Emblem.
Yeah, like the thing is that like it really just depends on you. If you want to collect games, just collect games and play them. That's fine.
Yeah.
But not a lot of people have like that kind of money to like spend on a game, especially if they want to play the game. Because they have other means, they have other things to pay, like bills. So like, the thing is, I'm like in the middle when it comes to should you either emulate or pirate the game. For me, I emulate lots of my games and stuff mainly because like I love backing up my games for some odd reason.
Yeah.
I recently got the Emunan stuff on my Switch just so I can back up all my games, including Shin Megami Tensei 5. I don't like how Shin Megami Tensei 5 runs on the Switch, so I just back it up on my PC and run it better that way. So like there's other reasons why you should emulate your games as well. But like when it comes to like Nintendo especially, like I don't know what they're doing. Like they could just really release this stuff on the eShop and sell for like $30 or something like that and call it a day and stuff. So that way people don't have to jump through multiple hoops just to play the said game.
I agree.
It's ridiculous, and people like love to like virtual signal about piracy, especially on Nintendo products. And I'm like, bro, Nintendo is the one that are not even like releasing their own stuff. We can talk about their video game OSTs.
Yeah.
Like
so, I'm in a very gray area when it comes to piracy. I do not feel bad doing it against $1 billion corporation. I'm sorry.
Oh no! Hey, listen.
And
hey,
it's like I'm gonna sleep like a baby at night, and I'm not even gonna like think about it. You know what I mean?
For me, it's like
ROMs and emulation is a gray area to begin with anyway.
Yeah, I don't care what people do. I just don't like when people trying to virtual signal and trying to call other people thieves and crap. I'm like, bro,
everyone,
go
have you been on Twitter, dude? Everyone virtue signals for anything, dude.
I'm pretty sure every single person used LimeWire before. I know that for a fact. Okay,
well,
like
for me,
everyone's
it's like,
pirated.
100%.
For me, it's like if the game is available by official means, I'll get it to support like the developers and stuff like that.
I'll do that too.
But if it's not like a good answer is like Game Boy Advance games, right? There's still a lot of Game Boy Advance games I've never played, and it's like, okay, I'll rather just, mainly, and I won't say DS games, because DS games are one of those rare things that, like, I'll rather own a physical cart, because the DS is just, it's just, I feel like playing the dual screen games is just better on the actual hardware versus like emulating it, right?
I agree with
but
that.
Like,
I agree.
But like Game Boy Advance games, there's a bunch of Game Boy Advance games that I haven't played. I was like, you know what? Let me just emulate it, right? And go through there. A good example is like Final Fantasy Tactics, Advance, right? I played it through emulation because I never got a chance to buy it when it was available. But yeah, like, that's a good example, and stuff like that. It's like, hey, Square Enix, if you were to release that on the Switch or something like that, I'll gladly buy it. Tactics Ogre was another one. I played it through emulation, and then of course the HD remaster came out, so I was like, okay, I'll buy it, to support that game, which I haven't bought it yet, but I need to buy it. But like, that's another one. It's like, that's how I kind of got introduced into that world. So I agree with that. Like, it's, I don't know. Sometimes
If
I
there's
just
a
think,
code, because you don't pirate or emulate small studios.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, but Disney, like, I don't care, dude. Like,
I'm not gonna
like,
emulate. I'm not gonna download a ROM for an indie game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would never. Indie
Well, I mean,
games,
they're
like,
so
I'll
cheap
purchase
already,
100% of the time. But
most of the indie games are cheap, so there's no
Yeah.
problem for me.
And they make it available for everything. So like,
yeah, because like I feel like there's the actual code, like how actual pirates live. They didn't steal from poor people; they stole from rich people. You know what I mean? Like, it's like you got a Robin Hood mentality.
But yeah, I mean, that's that. I just hope that these companies just release the game. Re-release the game. Let us buy it and stuff like that. Because like the Mega Man Battle Network collection that like Capcom's doing. I'm happy they did that because I was like, you know what? I want to replay all those games. And at the time, I was like, there's no way to play it.
I forgot about that.
And they're doing it as a collection instead of selling each game individually.
Yep.
I'm like happy for every Mega Man fan right out there. Like, I'm not a big Mega Man fan myself, but when I saw that, I'm like, that gave me a huge smile.
You might like that game.
God.
It's more RPG than like Mega Man, and it's really good. Like, it's more of an RPG. So I highly recommend it. Like, even if you're not a Mega Man fan, I think you'll love this game because I knew a lot of people that weren't Mega Man fans, but they loved Mega Man Battle Network.
It's a strategic RPG, but not like tactic style RPG.
I play some Mega Man games here and there. Obviously, I play some of the classic ones, I play 1 through 3 one time, and then I played this one on the GameCube. I think it was called Command Mission. Right?
Yeah, that one was a JRPG, like turn-based. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that one too. That was fun to play. So.
Yeah, this is more like I said. You got like 2 grids. You have your enemy grid and your grid, and then you have these battle chips, which are like special moves that you can use. And the whole point of it is just like you get to random battles, you battle them, but it's still like action based. So you're moving around these grids, just try not to get shot. It's done really well. I highly recommend it. Mike, have you played Battle Network? No.
No.
Oh, I recommend it. I think you might like it because
I seen it. They look good. I think it was just one of those games that was never got around to it.
Yeah. No, I definitely highly recommend it. I think you'll like it. If you like tactics games like Fire Emblem and stuff like that, I think you'll like it. Like Fan said, it's very strategic in terms of how you play.
Right. I'm still waiting for them to remake Skies of Arcadia, dude.
I mean,
that's like the one.
Yeah.
That's the one I'm waiting for still.
I think it's
rumored.
rumor.
Slept on, dude.
So I think there was a rumor I read a while back because Sega is looking to do some remasters of some games, and supposedly that was one of them they're looking to do. So
they should.
It'd be nice.
It still holds up. I played it again a few years back. If they updated like some of the systems, it would be a great 10 out of 10 JRPG.
That's one of those games that like we should do on one of these on a pod, or actually it'll be a nice video idea of games that came out that never got a sequel but were amazing. Like those one-off games, right? Like Skies of Arcadia, Legend of Dragoon. There's probably a lot.
Game came to mind was Conker's Bad Fur Day.
There was a sequel on that though, and it was bad.
There was a sequel?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It was on 360.
It wasn't good.
No, I lied. It was on Xbox. On Xbox.
What was it called?
Reloaded. Conker's Bad Fur Day Reloaded. I think it was.
I thought that was a remake or remaster.
No, there was a. Well, it might have been. I know there's a sequel to that.
Yeah. Conker's Bad Fur Day was originally released on the 64. Then Reloaded. That was actually like the remake or remaster of the 64 title.
they added like a multiplayer to it and everything too, though. Like, so I think it was treated more than like a remake.
Yeah, because I thought they did some new stuff to it.
Technically, Reloaded is worse when it comes to like the content wise because they did like censor a lot of stuff compared to the original. But they did have plans on doing a sequel to the game, but they canceled it.
Yeah, there's that. Let me see.
I remember when that was the most controversial game.
Yeah.
Yo, that's like nothing in today's games, bro.
Oh, they had a Game Boy Color game, Pocket Tales. I remember that one.
The great mighty. I love that boss so much. That was like most creative ever. I love it. Like I miss old Rare, man. I miss old Rare.
I miss creativity in games. And, not this cookie cutter.
I agree.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah, it was a remaster. I thought it was a sequel. Okay.
Yeah.
They added new stuff, but they said like it just wasn't as good as the 64 version. It looks like.
The game looks great, but like the content wise, they did like cut a lot of stuff out when it comes to censorship compared to the 64 version and stuff, which was unfortunate, you know.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, the game was okay though. Like me personally, I wasn't a big fan of Conker's Bad Fur Day.
Oh yeah, it's I think it's like a hit or miss for most people.
Yeah,
I loved it. So
it's right up my alley when it comes to games. So literally right up my alley.
But moving on to one of our main topics, and a sad topic at that. Sony, Nintendo, and Xbox will not be at E3 this year. What a bummer. According to IGN, who supposedly had the scoop, I guess they had the scoop, not supposedly, but they wrote in there that they had heard from a source that Sony, Nintendo, and Xbox won't be making it at E3, and they kind of responded in kind of saying like, yeah, that's true, they won't be at E3, which kind of sucks because like E3, I don't know about you guys, but E3 was kind of like that, like Christmas in the summer type of deal, right? Like you got all the gaming news to come out. It was always like a hype show. It was
an exciting weekend.
Yeah. It was like, I remember I'll always take off a week for E3 because it was during my birthday. So to me, it was like, oh, it's a birthday gift for me. So E3 always happened around my birthday. I would take it off and watch it live. And it was nice to just get hyped on all the game stuff they were showing out. And now it looks like the major players of E3 are not going to be there, which kind of sucks. Do you guys feel that E3 is dead? Like there's no way to revive it?
They waited too long. They kept because they kept saying they're going to come back, and then they're like, oh no, we're not coming back this year. They did it like twice because they were supposed to come back, I think 2022, and then they canceled, and then it said 2023. But that's like too long. You know what I mean? Like, because like Nintendo already had directs. You know what I mean? And then everyone else needed a way to.
Sony had their state of play.
State of play, yeah. And then everyone else needed a way to like tell people what games are coming out. So of course they're gonna go digital. So why would you pay someone a bunch of money to go somewhere where you could just host it yourself?
Yeah, that's true because like you're right, and that's kind of one of the things because remember Nintendo was one of the first to stop their press conferences, but they always had a presence at E3, which was pretty cool because if you remember the booths they had, like when Luigi's Mansion came out, they kind of turned the whole like show floor to like Luigi Mansion theme, show floor, which is pretty cool. They did it for Legend of Zelda, for what's it called, Mario Odyssey. There we go. I was like, what's the name of that game? They did it for Mario Odyssey. They did it for some other games too. So they did it quite often. So it's kind of a shame that like they're not gonna be there. But I mean,
it's millions they'll be saving having to not build sets.
That is true.
Pay rent and all that stuff.
That is true.
And then when you have a company has 3 years of like being like, hey, we saved this much money by not going to E3. They're not gonna go back
by switching to Geico. What about you, Ash? Are you sad?
Right. Well, I mean, I definitely do miss the old days of E3 and stuff. I always wanted to go to E3.
Me too.
When I was a bit naive, but when I was watching some content creators when they actually went and they actually expressed their true thoughts about experience at E3, now I don't want to go anymore because how long the lines were to try out like one demo of a game and stuff. It's
kind of like an amusement park, right? You go to amusement park to get on a ride and you're waiting 2 hours just to ride on one ride.
So most of the time I was better off just watching from home with my friends and everything. It was a great time. It was always a great time watching E3. So I'm pretty sure nobody can object to that, you know. But from this point on, I mean, it makes a lot of sense for all the companies just to switch to digital because, like Mike said, they're saving a whole crap ton of money just by just hosting their own stuff, putting some budget into like some good presentation, and that's it. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I'm not going to be too sad about it because it's business, you know. Yeah. It is what it is.
It's the end of an era.
Yep. Yeah, and I'd rather do those other shows that they have, you know, like PAX, you know.
Yeah, but I mean, to me, like PAX, at least for me, was never like E3. It was a little bit different. I know PAX was more consumer based versus like E3 used to be at least more what's it called, more for the companies rather than the or more for the developers rather than the consumer. So I mean, I guess I'm just sad because like we have Summer Game Fest, right, which is with what's his name, Jeff Keighley, and to me Summer Game Fest was not that great. Like that was when we got like Elden Ring announced or like official like release date and gameplay for Elden Ring, and I don't remember what was last year. I mean, they had a DualSense, I guess, but like nobody cares about that in terms of like or not DualSense, Dual Edge. Yeah, go ahead.
There's a few good game shows that are still big. Like there's a Tokyo Game Show.
Yeah.
That does some pretty big releases, and then there's the one in Germany that I cannot remember the name of. Gamescom, yeah. So those two are pretty like on the same level as E3.
When I first turned into the first year Summer Games Fest, that's when they announced Persona 4 Golden for PC and stuff. And I was really excited about that because that was actually the first time Persona 4 Golden actually got out of the Vita and went to like another platform like PC. Yeah. And I was still a bit confused about that too because I was expecting to also put it on PS4, which they eventually did on other platforms and stuff. But like it was hilarious too because when they on that same announcement they said right after this stream that game is going to be available right now.
Yeah, I remember that.
That was hilarious. And when that dropped, they literally crashed Steam. Everyone was trying to get that game. It was great. It was amazing, you know. So I think that was like the best memory I had from Summer Game Fest. It was literally the first year of Summer Game Fest.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the other parts I'm gonna miss, like if E3 is dead for sure, is like I did like watching like IGN, for example. They'll have like those developer previews, I guess you could say, where like a game was announced and then they'll have like hands-on demos of the game, and you know they'll kind of talk about the game and stuff like that, kind of like what Nintendo does with their Treehouse Live segments, where they show off the game and they talk with the developers and they kind of tell them like stuff like that. And that was a highlight in me because I used to watch, you know, all these games. I remember when Kakarot was announced, they went through and were showing off Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, and I was like, yeah, like, you know, this game is actually something that I would like, and it was always good. I just feel like, I don't know, like E3 was always great. And I kind of like disagree with Mike in terms of like Gamescom and Tokyo Game Show were like on par. I always felt like E3 was like the high bar to set, but then of course, you know, like it kind of like
because they all have huge releases.
Well, Gamescom I felt like it was never huge releases, and then Tokyo Game Show slowly became like a higher like mobile showcase versus like big games. But
well, nowadays, but like Gamescom's huge. Like
it is big, like, yeah. But like, I felt like it was always like just the stuff you already saw at E3. Because like I'm trying to think, like last year, was there any exclusive announcements you can think of?
So we're not talking about like COVID days, because there hasn't been really any exclusive announcements at any like thing big, really, because like developers are still behind on games, for the most part. But I'm talking about pre-COVID Gamescom and Tokyo Game Show and everything like that. We're on par with E3.
So, yeah, I don't remember any big announcements from Gamescom specifically. Even Tokyo Game Show, like I don't remember anything big for a while. Like I know for a while, like a lot of Japanese centric games were there, but like at least for my last memories, which being like 2018 and 2019, I don't remember anything big from those two.
I'll say this much, right? So like there's most likely like big releases that happen on Gamescom and other stuff, right? Thing is, I'll say for a fact that with E3 they had like way better presentations overall compared to the other stuff, if anything, right?
Whenever you're ready.
Yeah, go ahead.
You're ready.
Moving Out 2 was announced this year at Gamescom. Return to Monkey Island release date announced. Dead Island 2 got a release date. PlayStation announced a DualSense Edge controller. Sonic Frontiers got a release date. New Tales from Borderlands officially revealed.
Well, yeah, this year I know that. I meant for like I'm talking about like how you were saying like
Gotham
before
Knights. Gotham
pre-COVID.
Knights got a new trailer. And you look at Callisto
Yeah.
Protocol, Atlas Fallen announced from the developers of Surge, Dune is getting survival MMO, Hogwarts Legacy got it. So like, there's a bunch of games that's announced there.
But yeah, that was pre. Well, Hogwarts Legacy was announced on PlayStation State of Play.
I said new trailer.
Oh, new trailer. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. But talking about like pre-COVID, like 2019 and 2018. Like I don't remember that.
Oh, I don't know, but like
Yeah.
just this year, there's like a bunch of content that was
Correct.
at Gamescom.
Which is because E3 was not a thing there.
Yeah, it was.
So I'm wondering like if those have been showed at E3 if it was a thing, probably, but
I think it was split pretty even.
yeah.
I don't remember what's announced at E3 and Gamescom.
Yeah.
I don't even remember what I had for breakfast yesterday. So.
That's a good question. What did I have for breakfast? yesterday?
yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
they're gonna have me think about that.
Plain old eggs and bacon.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that's not what I had. I don't remember. Man,
That's me, at
Now
least.
I'm thinking about that. That's gonna be a good question. That's a good 20 questions game. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, I guess we'll have to wait and see because I guess in place of that, like Jeff Keighley did announce that Summer Game Fest was going to be happening again this year. So I guess we'll have to keep an eye on both and see what
Summer
happens.
Game Fest is whack, dude. Jeff Keighley is kind of whack, bro. Like, as a
Yeah, I
person
want
in
to hear
general,
you guys'
dude.
opinion about Jeff Keighley.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's like I don't know.
I
like,
don't know, dude.
It's hard to say. Like I feel like I don't know. To me, a part of it, I feel like he does want to kill E3 so he can be the spotlight. But like for him, like the thing I hate the most is he's like, yeah, we have all these amazing announcements.
Yeah,
a
he
brand new
overhypes.
trailer for this amazing game by these amazing developers, and it's like Solitaire or something like that. And it's like, come on, like nobody's
he
happy
does
for
the
that.
overhypes.
He
Yeah.
just looks fake, dude. He just looks like a fake person. Like I feel like he literally like after like the events, he goes in the back and like sits on his charging pod. You know what I mean? Because he's like a robot or something, dude. Like I don't know.
I want to
dude.
see
Like-
his reaction when that one kid went onto the thing for the Elden Ring thing.
Yeah.
The whole
Yeah.
yeah, I want to see his reaction to that. I want to see how
Bro,
livid
he probably
was.
blew a gasket, bro. Like, cause he seems like an egomaniac, dude. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's all about him.
He's like, no,
that's
my
what,
show,
like-
my show.
yeah.
You know.
Dude, I'm telling you, like that dude, I guarantee you, he's like a pain to be around. He's probably not a pleasant person to be around. You can tell just by the way he acts.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't disagree with that. Like, I do have like there's these vibes. Like, I think a lot of people get from him just by seeing him. Like, I watch the Game Awards because they're interesting to see, but like, it's just weird. Just kind of the stuff he does. Like, and it's always like, oh, I'm friends with Kojima. Oh, Kojima's my buddy. Me and Kojima. It's like always like the way he is with that is very
Question.
very annoying.
It's an ego thing, dude.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Question,
He's probably insufferable.
Question. This is like related to like Keighley a little bit. I have, but I have not played Death Stranding. But I did hear that apparently
He's in
Kojima
it.
put
Yep.
he's in the game,
Yeah, he's in there. He's just like
but as a different character.
he's an NPC there for like a quest. No, I think it's actually him. Like it's his name and everything. But
Weird.
yeah, he's an
Okay.
NPC there for a quest. That's all it is. Yeah,
Wonder how
I'm-
much money he paid that to have that happen.
yeah. If he paid
He
for it,
probably
or if
needs to
he's
pay.
actually friends with Kojima. I mean, who knows?
I don't think he
Like,
had to pay for anything, to be honest, because I guess they're actually buddy. I guess I don't know.
Yeah, but yeah. No, I agree with that. Like, I'm not a fan of. Like, I think Summer Game Fest is not that great. Like, it was never a good E3 replacement for sure. But I guess we'll have to wait and see. We'll see if he has good announcements. I mean, I don't know. Nintendo's still gonna do their direct. Microsoft is still gonna do their show this year, so they will be in LA at the Microsoft Theater doing their stuff. And
Oh yeah, they own a theater. They don't
Yep.
even have to pay to be there.
Yeah,
You know what I
exactly.
mean?
So it's like we have it, we're good. And then Sony will probably have a state of play in June, I would assume. So, as long as they're within that week, I would be happy. It would kind of suck because I think last year Sony didn't do their state of play till like later on, so it was even around like the other announcements. But yeah, it's gonna be sad to see like these gameplay demos not be a thing anymore. Like to kind of showcase the gameplay. And I guess on the bright side, developers don't have to create a demo, just for a show floor, right? So, oh well. I guess it's end of era, but we'll see how this goes in the future. Maybe the big three come back next year. Who knows? But our last main topic for today, Resident Evil 4 got some new impressions from Game Informer. Have you guys took a look at that at all?
No, isn't it a remake?
Yeah.
I watched the gameplay that they were going through.
I did see the gameplay, and then I also see what everyone else is talking about, which I feel like was a frivolous thing to talk about, which is the rain texture. So I'm like,
they went.
The thing to talk about for the remake is the thing to talk about in the remake is the rain texture.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
so I'm like,
you didn't see that the gameplay at all, Mike? Did you?
I did. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, no, Mike. Yeah, because you said you saw it. Did you see it, Mike?
No, I didn't.
Okay,
no.
So yeah, what he's talking about, like if you pull up the trailer, the rain textures are like, they're pretty crazy. Like it might obstruct your view from like aiming and stuff like that. Like that's how heavy the texture is
on the screen.
On the screen, yeah. Like if you put it on, it looks like remember Link to the Past, like the raining right in the beginning of the game. Like it reminds me of that, of how thick like the rain texture is. It's crazy. But
actual lines.
Yeah, like they're like actual lines like looking through. So yeah, it looks like it's a little bit overboard for that. But for the most part, the game actually looks good. It looks like they did expand it.
Why did they do that?
I don't know. It's a weird design.
That's a weird.
But they did.
I believe it on YouTube compression. I think once we have the game within our hands, we could see it in a better, finer detail.
Well,
in my opinion.
It looks like it's snowing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, YouTube compression.
I don't think it's YouTube compression, because the Game Informer guys who were there, they said the same thing, that they had the same issue. Like when they were trying to aim, that it felt like the rain was getting in the way of where they were trying to aim. So I don't think it's YouTube compression. I think it's just the rain textures that they're using. But other than that, like it seemed like really good. Like they expanded on places. So like if you guys remember Resident Evil 4, it's pretty streamlined, right? It's kind of like a very linear game. They opened up areas, so now there's like other areas to go through. I will say that the biggest thing I don't like is the merchant's voice. It's not the OG merchant's voice.
It's not OG?
No, it's not.
Unplayable.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Exactly.
Unplayable,
right
bro.
there.
Boycott this game, dude. It's over.
I need to listen again. I thought the voice was literally the same voice.
No way. No, it's
really?
like I think they're using what's the merchant from Resident Evil Village?
The Duke, or
the Duke.
I just call him the Duke. Call him the Duke.
I think he's the same voice actor for this one. Yeah, and it's
I guess he got a range. I guess. Wow.
Okay. No, it's not a range. It sounds the same.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. The chicken egg in the tree, like.
Well, it's been a long time since I heard the voice for the remake, so I thought.
Oh wait, hold on. Fine. He's at the merchant. Hold on. Oh no, dude! Like, no, what is that, dude? Like,
yeah, that is not the merchant's voice.
Was the most terrible. It doesn't even sound like he's trying to sound like him.
No, it's like he's doing his own impression, like, because the merchant, the OG merchant, had that one, like that real strong. I don't know what type of voice. It was like an accent to it for sure.
It was like a unique accent.
Does he not say, "What are you buying"?
No, he doesn't say that.
He doesn't say that.
No,
I
missed that.
It's the game's.
What are you buying? What are you selling? Yeah, no.
How do you not put that in the? Come on.
He's like, oh, wow. Yeah, he's just like a generic like merchant of like, hey, bro, what do you want to get? Yeah, all right, thanks.
That's like one of the most iconic like gaming things is like the what are you buying? What are you selling? I remember X-Play used to make fun of that all the time, dude. Like, even used to be into so many of the skits.
Even yeah, right. I remember that. Symphony of the Night, when they redubbed it, they even had the merchant Symphony of the Night say the same exact things. Yeah, he'll do the same thing. He'll do the laugh too when you will buy something. He'll go, thank you, and like he'll do the same exact stuff. Like I was like, man, like it's crazy, and like because it was so iconic. Yeah, and to not have that in the game, that's a huge fail on Capcom's like English localization. Like that's
not a day one.
Yeah,
no way, bro.
That is
come on.
Becomes a 2 out of 10 game now. Like not enough merchants. Not enough merchants. Yeah. I mean,
in all seriousness, though, it's literally gonna piss me off every time I get to it. Yeah. Like it's gonna break my immersion every time I get to the merchant because I'm gonna be like, that's a bunch of BS.
You know what's gonna happen though, day one. You know what will happen on day one on PC?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh for sure.
They'll mod the voice, and I probably be that one guy who's like, "Yep, I gotta mod this. I gotta mod the voice back." In.
PC.
Yeah, because like Crisis Core, like I kind of got over like the voice acting. Like I kind of got used to it, but like this is something I will not get used to. Like that voice is just everything. That made the game go from like a 9 out of 10 to a 10 out of 10 just because of the merchant.
It's the details that do that, man. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, because like you don't have a 10 out of 10 without attention to detail.
Oh yeah, exactly. Just the small things. The small things. Right? I mean, it's kind of true. Like what you're saying, that the detail. Because if you ever think of a game, usually a lot of the highlights are the small things. They kind of, are highlights of games. So yeah, I agree with that. Like it's sad. But what do you guys think? Capcom, where Capcom will go from there? Do you think Resident Evil Code Veronica or Resident Evil 5?
If they're following the trends, probably going to be 5.
Definitely 5. Even though I don't agree with it, 5 probably.
I'd want Code Veronica.
Yeah, I agree. Like, I agree with you guys. I think 5 will go. Like, I feel like they forgot about Code Veronica. Even though I've said this before, like Code Veronica is technically the real Resident Evil 3, and Resident Evil 3 is kind of like the side story, because it's really the side story to Resident Evil 2.
Pretty much. Yeah.
I mean, it could be DLC. Like if you look at the Resident Evil 3 remake, that could have been DLC for Resident Evil 2. Like, of how short that game was and everything like that. Because there's DLCs out there that are like 2 hours long, and that's literally what Resident Evil 3 remake was.
Yeah, they cut so much from 3, to be honest. It could have been a better remake, to be honest. I mean,
for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Resident Evil 5...
lazy on it to make this, like, better.
Yeah. I mean, I hope they go Code Veronica, but we'll see. Like, I'm also kind of excited for Resident Evil 5, because I feel like they will change it, and the developers have said that they would like to change it to a horror game, because right now it's really an action game. They would like to change that, which... I hope they do, because if Resident Evil 5 gets changed in a good way and make it more horror-like, and they keep the co-op and it works, I guarantee you, if a Dead Space 2 remake comes out, Dead Space 3 remake will probably follow the same footstep and make it more horror-like, and they can still keep in the co-op.
Oh, that'd be
nice.
nice.
Dead Space 3 was garbage.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Like, I would play, like, I think that would be awesome. Like, we can also, like, do a stream on that, just playing Dead Space 3 co-op, if they change it and make it good.
So my perfect Dead Space 3 remake would be no co-op.
Really? You don't think co-op would be interesting?
I think they should just keep it as is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, because Dead Space was never made to be a multiplayer game. Yeah. They hopped on the bandwagon of multiplayer games. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like,
see, I feel like it could work out. Like, you remember Resident Evil 0?
Oh
yeah.
Oh man, Resident Evil 0 was
so Resident Evil 0 is one of those games I thought would have been a great co-op game, because like you can have no like chests or anything to put weapons away, but in order for you to like team up together, like you can have puzzles that have to be one player has to go one way, the other player has to go another way, and they'll meet up in the middle, or like you have to share resources, right? So it's like, oh man, I can only hold these things here. Can you hold these things while I go ahead and do that? Like I feel like that'll bring in a little bit more what's the right word I'm looking for? Suspense.
Well, so my only qualms with a game like Dead Space is it's survival horror.
Yeah.
So once you have a buddy there with you, it's not as scary.
Yeah. I can see that.
You know what I mean? Like, because it's like, it's one of those things, you're stuck on a ship infested with zombies. You're by yourself. Yeah. Terrifying. If you have a buddy with you, it's like, it's still scary, but at least I have someone to die with me. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like...
that's true. That's true. Well, I guess we'll wait to see. Yeah, I'm excited for Resident Evil 4 still. Rain textures aside and Merchant not having a good voice aside, like it's still gonna be a pretty good game. I think all the changes they've had to it has definitely, in my opinion, definitely makes it look better than Resident Evil 4 original for sure.
You think? Yeah. I don't know, man. I think 4 original still looks better than this game.
You think so? Yeah.
No, I'm being sarcastic.
Oh, okay.
They're remaking the game.
Yeah.
Like, of course,
I mean,
better.
Yeah. Well, I don't mean like look in terms of like graphics wise. I meant look as in like overall.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay,
I'm
gotcha.
just messing with you, dude. Like, yeah.
I
Okay.
I'm just hoping it plays better. That's all I'm asking.
Oh, I mean, it definitely looks like it plays better already. I mean, you can block like the chainsaw with a knife. Like, come on, man. Like, you know, like.
Yeah, which is cool, but like I feel like that's what kind of made like the chainsaw sisters a little bit more terrifying. Is like you couldn't block their attacks.
Did you
know
see?
what I mean? Like,
did you see in that trailer? I'm not sure if you stopped it. In that trailer, you see like that new guy that's supposed to be following you around. It's like this giant dude with like a hammer, and he has like a bull like head, like mask thing.
no, I stopped it.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
So
is it gonna be
yeah, like,
okay?
Yeah.
It's gonna be like
No,
a tyrant, pretty much.
No, not really. Like, apparently there's like, I guess, multiple versions of that guy, but like he will be there like that. It's basically like a chainsaw guy, but not as common, and this guy will follow you, and he's really hard to kill. Yeah, they're saying like it's sometimes better off just to run away because you'll waste ammo on fighting him. So it's trying to put that suspense on like, oh man, like you gotta be careful. So yeah, I mean, overall, yeah, it looks like it's already fixing a lot of issues I had with Resident Evil 4, which was basically it was one of those games that was more action than horror. So it is adding the horror elements to it, which I'm liking for sure. But yeah, my biggest fear would be just them cutting out content. I don't want content cut. Like, come on.
Always a bad idea.
Yeah.
I mean, according to y'all, they already cut out the merchant. So
I mean that is huge. Like that voice there, like I was all excited, like, oh, the merchant would be back. I was like, yeah, and then you hear the voice like, no, like ruined everything.
Don't bring him back.
Yeah, ruin everything. No, that would be nice. Maybe that was a placeholder voice. Like that'd be nice for sure.
I got you. Like,
Exactly. All right. Well, that brings us to video game 20 questions. Let's let the questions begin. Oh, hold on. I gotta bring up the information for this game on here real quick. But you guys can start brainstorming questions.
was it released after 2010?
Yes. Hold on. Let me get my paper. Before I start.
Was it released after 2015?
Oh, I'm sorry. Actually, I lie. No, it wasn't released after 2010. I'm sorry.
Okay. Was it released before 2000?
Yes.
Older game. Okay, was it released after 95?
Hold on, let me catch up these questions. I'm forgetting already. What was the second question you asked?
Was it released after 95?
No, before that. What was the question before that?
I asked if it's after 2010, before 2000,
Okay.
and then I'm asking if it was released after 95.
All right. Hold on. Let me bring it up because. You said after or before 95?
After.
After? No.
Pre-95?
Wow.
So that it kind of was it a console exclusive?
Yes.
It had to
Is
be
it-
before 95. I mean,
is it a
pretty much how they broke
JRPG?
up.
No.
No. Okay.
console
Okay.
exclusive.
So we just got to figure
Before
out
95.
we got to figure out the system, and then we got to figure out. Then we can start like kind of like narrowing down. So was it released on a Sony platform?
No.
Okay, so if it's before 95, then it has to be either SNES or Genesis.
SNES. Oh, don't use that term.
Or even
SNES.
or Dreamcast.
Well, it wasn't PS1 was around.
Excuse me,
in
James. Over for
95.
the Super Famicom.
Well, Super Famicom works too. The Sub Fam works. Yeah. Oh, did you ask a question? I'm sorry.
No, we were
No.
talking
okay.
about.
So we can ask if it was on Nintendo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I'm pretty sure it's either Sega Genesis or Nintendo. Those
Was
are
it on?
around that time.
Was it a Nintendo? Was it released on a Nintendo platform?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Okay, so
So
pretty
it has
much
to either
exclusive
be
to Nintendo then.
so either SNES or NES.
Wasn't a Game Boy around too?
Hmm. I think so. I think they had the Game Boy and a Game
Yeah.
Gear around that
Yeah.
time. So, I mean, if you say if it was on handheld, then we'd
Yeah.
narrow that down
Mm-hmm.
pretty much.
Was it on a handheld console?
No.
So definitely not Game Boy then.
Okay.
So it's
Right.
so
Question for clarification:
Uh-huh.
Are you counting the Virtual Boy as a handheld? Because you can take it around.
Yeah.
Portable.
I mean, yeah, I wouldn't really count it as a handheld though.
Okay. But it wouldn't be
Yeah.
counted as a home console either, because it's you don't hook it up to a monitor or TV.
Not
The
necessarily, but
the OG VR.
Yeah.
which I don't think it's a Virtual Boy game.
I
can't
mean, you
even
never know,
name
man.
one.
You might be
I
tricking.
can't name one
Throw the
virtual.
curveball
If
and
it
grab
is, we're
it.
boned because like I can't name one Virtual Boy game. Like there's
Mario
not
Tennis.
one. Like,
Mario
It's a-
Tennis was on Virtual Boy.
Is that one Virtual Boy game that Reggie Fils-Aimé was playing in that one trailer I saw the other day? Back then.
Mario Tennis
Not one
was on
game.
Virtual Boy. All right, so we know it's okay. So we know it's either Super Nintendo or Nintendo. So it's gonna be one of those two. If it was before '95.
So he says it's not a JRPG.
Definitely not a JRPG.
We could try to start.
Do we want to narrow down between NES and
Yeah,
SNES?
yeah, we can.
Okay.
Was it released on the Super Nintendo?
yes.
Okay.
Okay.
It's not a JRPG.
On the Super Nintendo, it's Zelda.
I mean, they had other games too,
I
but
know.
a lot of the other games I would consider as an RPG that were really good. Like, God, what was it? Legend of Gaia, I think it was called.
Oh,
Well,
I forgot about that.
there's a lot of games
So,
made
yeah.
by Nintendo, so we can ask
Yeah.
if the game was made by Nintendo.
Well, do you want to say made or distributed, like as a publisher or a developer? Because they
Yeah,
don't technically have to make the game; they could just, just be a distributor for it.
Yeah, was the game made or published by Nintendo?
Yes.
Okay.
If that's the case, I have a oddly, weirdly specific question for this particular
It's
game.
Earthbound.
No, that was,
No, but he said
I
it
was-
wasn't JRPG, isn't it?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
that-
I guess
technically,
that-
Earthbound
that
is
would
a
be a
Japanese
that knocks
RPG.
my
Yeah.
question.
Yeah.
My
Earthbound
question
is
was going to be
technically
something about
Japanese
Satoru Iwata, so never mind then.
I mean, Earthbound technically is a Japanese JRPG because it's that style
And plus, that's also a game that Satoru Iwata also contributed in as well. That's why I want to ask that question.
of game. All right. I mean, dude, do we want to ask for about main characters? Like, is the main character Mario? Is the main character Link in the game?
It has to be before 95.
95, yeah, but they had
Right,
there was Super Mario World.
How many games did Nintendo make pre 95? Is like what I'm thinking, so we can ask those questions. Or publish, because that's the. I also asked.
Yeah, but pre 95, I mean that's like middle of their life cycle or even closer towards the end because I think N64 came out in
Yeah, it was like 96 or something.
Yeah, 96, 97. So it would have been towards the end. So do you want to narrow down even more in terms of time or just start going into genres and
Yeah, I want to go to genres first because we
Okay.
still don't know what the genre is first. We asked first it was JRPG, which is not, so we can cross
Is
that
it-
out.
Okay, so is it like in a like adventure
Like-
game?
No.
In the okay.
So
You have 7 questions and a guess left.
We're good.
What? Holy. Okay, no, we went by fast. Okay. All right.
So I feel like genres back in the day, it's pretty much, we can ask if it's an RPG because that's like a broader one.
Yeah, it is.
As I guess, a Nintendo game. It's a Nintendo game or published, so it's like what, Mario, Zelda.
Oh, wait a minute.
We got Donkey Kong. They had F-Zero.
Donkey Kong, yeah.
There's one particular. Okay.
They had
I mean,
Star
we can
Fox.
Okay.
Was Star Fox on Super Nintendo?
But then again,
Star Fox?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Star Fox on Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
All right, can I just throw away a basic question real quick?
What is it?
It's about it's. I was gonna ask him if the game has Mario in it.
Yeah.
All right, James. Does the game have Mario in it by any chance?
No.
Dang it. Okay. All right. There was like one particular RPG that was on SNES, and that's
Super Mario RPG.
Yeah, that one. I was like, that was.
Yeah.
I was like, wait a minute. Okay.
We can get it over and say it's the main character Link to get Zelda out of the way. But I don't think it'd be Zelda. It's too obvious.
Yeah,
but maybe it's so obvious that's why you pick it.
Yeah, that's what
there was only one like Zelda game on the Super Nintendo. It was Link to the Past.
Right.
I don't remember any other ones.
So, but that's what so it's either. So we ruled out Mario. So it's either.
Yeah, but he
Mario,
said it wasn't. Oh, I mean, yeah.
He said Mario wasn't in it, so that rules out any Mario.
Yeah.
But he said it wasn't an action game, but I guess or action adventure. Would Mario be Link to the Past be considered action adventure?
Yeah, I guess that's true. Yeah.
I'm trying to think real quick.
Because I would consider it action adventure.
Oh, 100% for sure. So we can ask if it's a racing game to get or we can ask if it's a vehicle simulator to get Star Fox and F-Zero out of the way.
Yeah.
Is it a vehicle simulator?
Do you ride any type of vehicles in it? Like primarily?
It's the primary mode of transportation, riding in a vehicle.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So it has to be F-Zero or Star Fox. Is the main character a fox?
No.
Is the main character?
Is there a person named? Is there a person in the game named Captain Falcon?
Is there okay? Let me ask him this question. Is there a vehicle in the game called the Blue Falcon?
Yes.
Okay. So are we saying? Can we?
Yeah, we can guess.
Yeah, go for it, Ash. You got it. You got the last question.
Yeah.
All right. Is the game called F-Zero?
The game is not called F-Zero.
Oh, that's.
I'm just kidding. It is.
Okay. So
like...
the only name I know is called F-Zero GX, which I believe is on the GameCube.
No,
correct?
it is. F-Zero came out in 1990 on the Super Nintendo. Yeah, so nice job. I actually thought you guys were gonna get this. I was like, oh man. I thought it was kind of obvious. I was like, but yeah, this was actually my third choice of a game to pick today. There was another game I was gonna choose, but I was like, no, I'll wait to use that one.
I have a suggestion. Maybe one of us should.
Can we exclude VR games?
It's sure, why not?
Yeah, so that way that takes care of like any like PlayStation VR games, Virtual Boy, Steam VR, like that. Just
I would exclude at that point. I would exclude any like obscure games as well.
I was going to suggest that one of us should host a 20 games thing. So wait, I have a game that you guys should guess. Fan has one, Mike has one.
Sure.
To spread the variety. That'll be fun.
Yeah,
I got a lot of cool games I wanna.
I don't know if you guys watched the Nintendo podcast, but they did a game show thing too, where they play the sounds of a game that's known.
I want to do something like that too.
And I thought that was kind of cool. But I had an idea of doing that like a while back, but with just like the music of a game, because you were big into video game music.
I've been wanting to do that. Yeah. Like I have told Mike that like it would be good for either the podcast or just to do a YouTube video on that too.
Yeah.
But I think you're the guy who's really into video game music, so I should host it and find the music and play it for you.
Yeah,
because like you're the one that's like into video game music. You play music for me, I have no idea. Like unless you know what I mean. Like it's like certain Final Fantasy songs.
James,
and stuff,
I got you.
Know what I mean?
Play main music, I'll get it.
The opening.
Oh, there we go. Hey, I'm willing to do it against Ash. Ash thinks he could beat me on video game music. Yeah.
Yo, so what we can do on this Fan Wants to Play is me and Fan can host it and come up with a list, and then like we can play it for you guys.
Sure. Yeah, we can do that on. We could do a YouTube video or podcast. We'll have to discuss to see how we do that. Because the other thing would be how to get the audio to come to both me and him, and I guess figure out how do we.
We would just play it on Mike's end. Mike can just play it because if he shares his audio from his desktop as an audio source.
Yeah, there we go. Simple solution.
How? Like, what do you mean?
He would just share his screen and like have the application will only focus on the YouTube video or whatever to play the music from, and we'll just hear it.
Oh, okay.
And stuff. Yeah.
Okay, I didn't think about that. Okay.
Yeah, he can just share his screen, just a whatever background he wants, right? And then he can just have his audio play.
Okay.
Pretty much. Yeah.
I wonder if it'd be an easier way to share just the audio.
Maybe.
Oh wait! Oh, that's what you mean because that way we don't see the name. Okay, I mean,
I have
there's
multiple monitors, so
yeah.
Oh, I guess so you could put the audio source could still be from the desktop, but okay, I get what you're saying. Yeah, that would work. Pretty cool. Yeah, that work. Hey, I'm down. You know, I'm down, and I also like the idea of like switching the 20 questions. Like we each could choose a game and go through. As far as me, like I wouldn't choose like a super obscure game, but I do recommend reading up on your video game knowledge because I would choose games from like let's say TurboGrafx 16, Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis,
Atari.
I wouldn't do Atari because I think Atari is like way behind, but like the generation of like at least NES and above.
No arcade cabinets.
Before I like go ahead and choose my game, can I also choose Japanese only imports? Have you guys played Japanese import games before? At least a few, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't know.
I guess it would depend.
I know James has.
Yeah,
I wouldn't do any imports. Like I would just stay like strictly what was released officially in the U.S.
Yeah.
Like
to make it easy, yeah, because I've played some Japanese imports, but
because once you start adding unofficial releases like that, because there's games that got released in other countries that never got released here as well. You know what I mean?
I was thinking there's one game from the Dreamcast, so never mind.
So that kind of releases like floodgates of like very obscure games that like sold 1,000 copies. You know what I mean? Like, but it's still technically a game.
Cool. Yeah. So sounds good. We'll change up the formula for the next podcast, and then. Yeah, and keep an eye out. We will do that video. Shoot. Now you got me excited for that video game music thing. Like, I'd like to do. We'll try to do that video either this week or next week. We'll figure out how we're gonna do it. I don't know how we're gonna do it. We'll have to discuss that. But that will be fun.
My main weakness for this competition is that I mainly listen to a lot of JRPG stuff.
Okay.
That's the problem I have. I don't particularly listen to like anything outside of that.
The JRPG stuff. Gotcha.
Yeah, there we go. See, I'm gonna lose automatically. I'm gonna lose.
There you go, Mike.
Shouldn't have said that, dude.
Yeah.
Like, because that's always my first choice.
That means,
I'm just being honest. I don't care. So
that means you will lose.
I just thought of another game. Show, but just like if I read you a video game review, could you tell me the game?
Yes.
I think
cool.
Yeah.
All right, I have one for you.
Pretty awesome. Yeah.
And I'll call it re-review.
Okay.
I have one good example. It's Too Much Water.
Oh yeah.
Ocarina of Time.
Nope. That was Oris. Pokemon Oris.
There you go.
The other one I was gonna
Omega
say was,
Ruby and Alpha Sapphire.
Echo.
Much water, really?
Yeah, that was they gave it a 7.5 or 7.2, and they said, and literally one of the redactions was too much water. Like that was literally one of their complaints.
Even though in the original game it had the same amount of water. I'm like, bro, really?
Yeah, because
I guess water doesn't age well, bro.
they just hated that you had to surf a lot, because Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire is all based on islands, so you're going through the different islands. Yeah, it was.
Well, how's that different from riding a mount? Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's weird.
That's why everybody made fun of that, because like they redacted points just because of that.
Maybe random encounter. The title. Random encounters. I don't know. Yeah, within the water, I guess. I don't know.
David, yeah. What were you gonna say, Fan?
Oh, nothing.
Oh wait, I just noticed
Yeah.
the chat is cutting off David for some reason. That's weird. David, write something else. I don't know why.
Yeah, he said W stream. That's what he wrote.
That was weird. Like the.
I can write something.
Yeah. Cause the chat. He's been lurking. Okay, there we go. Oh, whoa, that was weird. Like you see David's chat's more to the right, and then like if you look on the screen, and Mike's is more to the left. That was awkward. Huh. I don't know why that happened. Interesting. Oh well. Anyways, that is all we have for today. Appreciate everybody that joined us, that was lurking, and all that other good stuff. Hopefully you had fun listening to us talk about video game stuff. Got some sad news, but you know, we'll get through this together, you know. But yeah, Ash, where can they find you at? Do you remember your channel name yet, or you know?
Yeah, they can find me at the Random Encounters. You see me right now, so there you go. I'll be here now. Oh, I mean, I have to warn you guys though. Probably the next podcast I won't be here because I'll be in a different city with my friends, so you will miss me again. So
all right, sounds good. Expect to miss Ash there. So I guess he will not be doing the video game 20 questions next podcast. What about you, Fan?
You can find me on YouTube and Twitch at Phaneckswhy. You can also find me there on Twitter at the same. So yeah.
What about you, Mike?
Right here, bro. Right here forever, bro. Just complaining like gamers do. Like,
too much water, right? Too much water.
Yeah. No.
And as always, you can find me here. Yeah, David, start doing raids. Yeah, I definitely want to do more raids. I just like every time I end the stream, I actually started looking to do raids, and the people who I'm following, there's just nobody live like at the time.
It doesn't have to be someone you're following. You can raid anybody.
How do you do that? Because I looked at like when I hit the raid channel button.
So just go to like a Twitch, like just go to your Twitch or go to a Twitch browser, and on the little search, you can search like whatever you want to look for, like either a game.
Yeah.
If you want to search for talk shows and podcasts, you can see everyone that's doing talk shows and podcasts, and you can just raid into their channel.
Okay.
You don't have to be friends with them to or followers to raid.
Okay. Yeah, cause I was looking at it, because every time it popped up, it was only people that follow, so that's interesting. But yeah, we'll definitely start doing that in our streams coming. From here on out, for sure. That's something I want to do, kind of network and stuff like that, for sure. And I know that'll help us grow the channel. But yeah, appreciate everybody joining. Don't forget to go ahead and like and subscribe on YouTube. Follow us on Twitch. We are trying to hit that sub goal of 15 per month. So any subs we get, whether it's through Prime sub or just any type of paid sub on Twitch, does really help us out. We're also trying to hit the 175 sub goal on YouTube. We'll be doing double time this week because we didn't do any videos last week. It was a weird week for both me and Mike, so we didn't really get time to do it. But definitely we'll be doing, try to get as many videos as we can this week for sure. We'll have at least 4 videos up this week. Try to. So definitely stay tuned for that stuff. My name is James. Thanks you, Ash. Thank you, Fan. Thank you, Mike, and we will see you on the next episode of the Random Encounter Podcast.